Wonder if tysonfury used to own that one. Oh, Granger Sands, it's there. And then next door, it's all nicely lit up. You might be thinking sharks in the bay. You must know this channel. I love a good ding. At the end. Oh, didn't see you there. It's Thomas Edward, that's me, that is, and just put my light back in my bag. It's a bit blustery tonight in Morecambe. It's a bit cold, as they'd say, you know. But we've come out. And it's a bit of Roy Castle tonight. It's dedication. And we've come out to see the last of the Morecambe Illuminations, what's been put up since sort of the back end of December and we're into January now. But, let me just put that down there. Let me just strap myself in for the night. Firstly, it's nice to see you back in Morecambe on the Thomas Edward channel. I haven't been here for a long time because I've been away doing exciting videos far away from here. Well, I should be really here, really, in the local town of Morecambe. And I thought I'd come and catch the last days of the Illuminations and also give you a brief bit of history along the way was what's related to some past Thomas Edward videos. But tonight, because it's dark, we've got some new equipment tonight. TE, Christmas, has been given a camera light, what you're lighting up with me now, and me mum's bought me this old bulb what has this colour changing mode on it. There you go. So I'm going to put this, or I'm going to get my cameraman just off camera briefly, put it in the back of my rucksack, so you tonight can follow me around. You know where TE is. There you go. I've got my flashing light in my rucksack and we're ready to go. Yours truly TE. But where I am at the moment, and just behind me, off camera, I can't really show you because the wind, it might ruin it and it's a bit dark. But we'll put a bit of B-roll in. I'm at the Stone Jetty. Well, it's the Old Railway Terminus, what was built in 1853. And this, I'll put you a link up here to a video I did about this very place last, maybe back end of 2020 it was. And this was a terminus, so big railway lines came right down here, past the Midland Hotel, down here. And what it was we had a dockyard here with boats what go to the island and Scotland and all over the place, and day trips over to Granger Sands. And so it was all a hype of activity on here. And then eventually they built Hesham, what was a purpose-built dock, because the only problem with Morecambe is it silted up because it was a bay. It wasn't a proper man-made dock, it was just a bay, so it silt up. So that was the end of that. And it also used to have over there, where the lifeboat and where they have the hovercraft now is, they used to have a wooden pier there. What was, I think it was a ship dismantle was what used to be there. But as we go around today, I'll show you a few other quirks of Morecambe, of railway history and stuff related to TE. So we'll go and have a look. But first, we're gonna walk down there and have a look at something what I like very much, what goes ding, what you'll know. So let's go and have a look. This is part of they have a big bird trail around Morecambe, and there's birds everywhere. That is a future Thomas Edward video, so get subscribed for that.
So hit subscribe, so hit subscribe.
So I won't tell you too much, but the family always tease that this looks like a certain member of the TE family who's a bit of a moody creature. So that we always have a laugh at that when we walk past it. Well, let's get down there and find the bit I really like on this pier. So this here is the tide bell, and you know, Thomas Edward here. If you know this channel, I love a good ding at the end of my videos, and this is very fitting to the video, and it's in Morecambe, my local town. And this is very similar to what Blackpool have, the tide organ. What if you've been watching Walk on the Wild Side with Stephen Cheatley?
So hit subscribe.
He'd done a recent video of they've actually dismantled it and took it down because it had been broken for many years. So we've got this, and pretty much when the tide comes in, it fills this up here, and there's a chain with a weight on the bottom and the weight of it, and it goes ding, ding, and it tells you on this board all about it. It says the bay surging, the channels filling, song setting, I ring, I sing, listen in. But let's have another Thomas Edward bonus. Ding! That's pretty much what it does when the sea's in. But we'll have to come when it's actually working to actually get a proper sound of it, you know, and do a proper Stephen Cheatley edition video on it, I think. But this will be the only video where you hear more dings than the actual end of the video. So ding. Just behind me is Bay Rescue with they've got the hovercraft. I think they've got their old hovercraft back again. They did have a hovercraft on loan at the moment, well recently, and now that's been gone back, and I think they've got the original hovercraft back. Now this hovercraft, it's great on the sand because obviously it hovers and all the water, but the thing is when it gets on our side of the bay, on the Cumbrian side, it can't deal with the channels and the marshland with the grass because there's too many channels. So obviously, because it can't really do much, we have our own sort of bay search on the other side at Fluteborough, what has big haglings, and they have that new one, I always forget its name. They've got this big monster of a thing with big tyres, big flotation tyres on, and they've got a few Hiluxes now. They used to have Land Rover Defenders, all snorkels on and stuff to do that side of the bay. But for this side of the bay, the hovercraft is ideal. It can do all of this from everywhere up to Arnside, Silverdale, all the way right down to the sea. So it can do the whole shebang. It just struggles on the other side of the bay with all the grass and marshland because obviously it's not made for going over big rough terrain, but it does the job, and it saves a lot of lives on this side. So just looking there is the Midland Hotel. So when I did my Lost Railways of Morecambe, I talked about the Midland Hotel because the railway used to go right up the side of it and up this prom. Now when the Midland Hotel was originally made, obviously Midland in the name, Midland Railways, it didn't look like we had it today. It looked like a big manor house, a big grand manor house, and then obviously in the Art Deco period it was refitted and redesigned into what you see today. So it plays quite a part in the actual rail industry in Morecambe, and now it's quite a fancy place, and TE won't mind spending a bit of Patreon money and having a night there and filming it one day, but we can dream, it might happen. You know, it's had a big bite out of it, like a big shark, so, you know, and you might be thinking sharks in the bay, you must be joking, but in warmer weather you do get little like basking sharks or little whales come up into the bay, and obviously they hit the cold water and they die, but they do come up into the bay. And you know, one actually washed up on our side of the bay, and we've actually got photos of it. And if you find certain I can't really say it on YouTube, certain deposits what come out of a whale, and it looks like a big rock, you can be a millionaire in a day. I'll let you research that. It's very empty tonight, Midlands. I did come on New Year actually to look at the lights, and it was rammed, and they all had guys in dicky bows and ladies in nice fancy dresses all in the front, and they had a female DJ in there doing the boogie-oogie. And it was all good stuff, and they all had a good look at T, because T was in the same clobber that night, and you're probably thinking, who is that lad? But tonight I was going to do the same thing, but obviously they're empty tonight, there's no one in. It's good in there. The only time I really go in is when my dad's down and we go in for something nibbles, or T likes to go and use the toilets in there because it's something you can just walk in and it's got some nice toilets. And on a better note is this was all marine land and they had a big swimming pool on here, but that's actually, I know I keep saying it's a future TV video. That is a future TV video because I have my brother who's director on that. He's got lots of nice ideas and we're going to talk about the Eden project and the dome what used to be on down there and the swimming pool and more marine land was on there. So it is a future video and I don't want to spoil it too much, but we are going to do a video on this. Get down and get it done because last year we were meant to do it last year, but the fair came on, Taylor's Fun Fair, and we couldn't. It ruined what we wanted to do because we wanted to actually go in where the dome used to be built and show you a few things. So that is a video. Hopefully 2022 is the year to get it done and talk about the Eden project. So yeah, that's coming. But we're going to go and walk down here, look at Winter Gardens and the old Woolworths building, what's all lit up. They all made it fancy. Now I might say that the Illuminations hasn't been here for over 20 years. TE was like 1 when it sort of finished, about 98, 99. So it's nice to see it back, but I'll tell you more when we get down there, 'cause it's a bit windy. The old Woolworths building there, and you've got all fancy lights on front. It's B&M's now, B&M bargains. You can get really cheap firelighters in there, but it's a lovely building, the old Woolworths building. And it's got next to it, it's got the sort of the deep history of Morecambe next, and the untouched history, I should say. People always talk about it. Oh, it's run down and they should knock it down. But that's a little arcade through there, and you walk through to the back onto the car park at the back. But if you walk from there, you're going back in time. It should be done up rather than knocked down because it's quite nice. And then the bowling alleys down here, what's all a fancy restaurant, went in there when Rishi had his cheap food on, a Rishi Dishy went in there. Very nice in there. See, it's all got fancy lights on, and that's actually next door to the Winter Gardens. Yeah, it's a bowling green, not a bowling green, a bowling alley upstairs, and it's an arcade downstairs. And they do good grub. It was good. We sat up on that corner up there. It was good. It was a good night. That was. Enjoyed it. And then next door, it's all nicely lit up, and it's even got little bits of projections going on at the top. You can't see on camera. That's the Winter Gardens. It was built in the late 1800s, and it was actually built as a pavilion to start with. And then it ended up being the Winter Gardens, and it shut in 1977. And then it was, I think the year it shut, it got grade 2 listed, but it didn't have a rescue sort of team putting money together to 1986. But very recently, as a lot of you know watching this, in 2021, they've been given the money, they've made the money to do a state-of-the-art heating and do all the roof and do everything like it needs doing to turn it back into an attraction again, you know. But the thing is, all the greats have played there. Morecambe wise, just to say, all sorts of. I think my dad used to watch boxing in there, and it's got a slope bit where you stand in it, so the stage is in front of you. So if you stood at the back, you got a good view. It's proper set out theatre. So every stand-up music, the whole shebang's played there. It's a proper showbiz. Thomas Edward venue, really. Probably needs a video on its own. But it's a lovely place, and actually a TE brother volunteered there last year. Did quite a lot of stuff for him. So yeah, it's a standout feature of Morecambe, that is, on the front. And it's a shame the Illuminations, what they've done down there, don't quite come up past it. I know it's got its own lights on it, but they should have done it up here, because all on here behind me, what I've just walked past next to Midland Hotel, is the gardens. And in the 1970s, when they had the proper Morecambe Illuminations, they were lit up like mad on those gardens. It was a proper illuminated gardens. Of when it was all lit up and all down here, it was a proper mini Blackpool Morecambe, was it? It was the real deal. And obviously, like I said, it did sort of finish in the late 90s when T was very young as a wee child. So I never got to experience it, but the cameraman did. The cameraman remembers it well, and he remembers it well from the 70s and 80s and everything to the end. But we'll go down here. But they have done for now, for the first year, they have done a good deal of lights. There is they have made an effort, I should say. So we'll go and have a look at the good bits. So next door to Winter Gardens is you just see over there, coffee, cream and ices is Bruciani's. Now he's the real deal. You go in there, it's proper old school, proper like it's dressed out like 1940s, 50s, even sort of 60s decor in it, and you get it's a proper seaside feel in Bruciani's. And there's also, you might know, there's a Bruciani's in Preston as well, what's very similar, but this is more seaside Bruciani's, where the one in Preston's more proper full meals, because Bruciani's and Morecambe only does your sort of beans and toast. You won't do any more than that. It's more you go and you get your proper sundaes and real deal puddings and stuff, you know, and iced tea. But I bet you he's not too happy that Costa's next door to him. Costa Fortune's next door to him. Because the thing is, the problem is with Costa is the appeal to the upper middle classes of this generation. So they go next door, and unfortunately, probably poor Bruciani probably doesn't do as much trade as he'd like. What's a shame, because it's actually a better deal than Costa. So this is the start of 2021-2022 lights from sort of this end of the prom, what's not quite near West End, but it's near enough, it's in the middle, and goes to the roundabout near the bingo hall, what used to be a quite famous nightclub. I think it was Miami nightclub or something. But the original Illuminations used to go from Happy Mount Park, right down the other end, and Happy Mount Park had its own displays in the park, and then it'd go all the way up the prom, all the way past me here, up past Midland Hotel, all those gardens that I just told you, and then it would go right on to West End. You know, the only problem is in today's market in Morecambe, is West End doesn't get a look in. It needs a few lights going up there, doesn't it? Just because people drive up there. You want people to come to Morecambe and go, wow, isn't the prom amazing, from the very like East End to the West End? You know, but hopefully maybe if T makes a good cash, or someone makes a good cash in the local area, puts a bit more money in, next year we can bring the lights up even further and make it even more of a real deal. But they've got these like tree-looking lights what hang on the lamp posts, what change all funny different colours, rainbow colours. Oh, look at that! That's like a candy stick colour, that is. I'm going to see Eric Morecambe. See, he's all nicely lit up, and there's also a bit of a TE family connection with the Eric Morecambe statue. What I'll show you. So we've come down to Eric Morecambe's statue. This is what everyone associates Morecambe with, is Eric Morecambe. And his wonderful statue on here, what, a few years ago, someone nicked him. But what made me laugh in the paper said, we've we've got him in a safe place, and then they reinstated him back up. Now, you might be thinking, TE here, he's not local, he lives across the other bay, but TE actually runs very deep in Morecambe, and I have actually some connections to this statue. In the little walkways as you go up, there's little names, and there's quite a few TE names, family history. I won't show you who they are, but in the actual stones. Now, and that's because a lot of that generation, their generation, was Eric Morecambe. Now, he was born in 1926 and unfortunately died in 1984 after he come off stage. And I remember reading in his driver book, what was very interesting reading, actually driver, I don't know if he's still alive, but he lives in one of the flats overlooking the statue. He said Eric told him a few months before he died that he didn't want to die on stage like Tommy Cooper did. But we'll go and have a look at him, and he's got his binoculars up, you know, a bit of bird spotting, you know, a bit of bird watching, because he was a big bird man, Eric, in his later years. He got into writing books rather than being a showbiz star. You know, he went a bit more quiet, and he is a quiet person on his own. He wasn't really the stage act, but it's always the case in the showbiz or show business industry that the characters on stage are very different off stage, and that's a classic case of Eric Morecambe. They were going to try and get Ernie Wise a statue in Morecambe, but the Morecambe people said, oh no, you can't have Ernie in Morecambe, he's a Yorkshireman, you can't have him over here. So on where my family names are. So I think it's up this side, it could be up that side, but I think it's over here. Oh look, I've found it, it's down here. So I won't show you, but when you come to Morecambe, Thomas Edward Gene Pool is in this stone here on this run, and the Edward name is on it, so I'll let you work it out if you come here and look for the Thomas Edward Gene Pool. But Thomas Edward's family runs deep in Morecambe, runs deep in Lancaster. So you might think, oh, you're from across the bay, but hey, family genes come from over here, lads. It's just I live over there, that's it. You know, I'm quite a local sort of name around here, but not in the Edward name, in a different name, but I won't show you. I'll let you work that one out. But we're here on top here, and Eric's behind us, always posing away. There's always people taking pictures next to him, and there's probably millions of photos of people next to him, and he's got his birth down there and his date of his death, and he's comedian Eric Morecambe, and it's pretty good. But they've done him up on all lots of moody sort of and bright lights. Now he is normally lit up, and you always have lights in the steps. But they've done for this illumination, they've lit him up a bit more. And we're going to go walk down there, and over there actually, to say you can't see, it's in darkness, is the Royal Bar where the first series of The Bay was filmed in there. He made it so, put it on the map, so to speak. We'll go down there and have a look at the clock tower is lit up, and the mountains are lit up. So let's go and have a look at that. Wonder if Tyson Fury used to own that one, and he's got a new model. Treasure Island's all nicely lit up there. Looking up Main Street there, next to it with Wetherspoons is hiding round the corner up there. Best grub in, cheap grub in Morecambe up there, Wetherspoons. T likes a nice Wetherspoons pizza. Could do with one now actually. Oh, there you go, that's the clock tower all lit up with some nice lights blowing in the wind. There's like light netting on it. Really good. Look, in the clock face itself is changing colour. They've done a good job there. On Queen Street, they're all lit up right down there as well. Like wavy icicles. Well, obviously it's wavy because of the wind, like, but they're looking good. Quite a good street that. That's the clock tower, it's very sandy, all the grass is covered in sand because all the wind's been blowing it up off the sand, because a few years ago we had lots of nice sand dumped on the beaches here to make it into a proper seaside resort again, instead of proper Morecambe Bay sand. What's very interesting sand, it's not like this. So they put it on, but obviously half of it's on here now, it's blown away. We'll go over here because the mountains are over here. If you probably can see on camera, all the different mountains, and the Lake District Fowls is on it, and you've lit it up with all these nice purple lights, quite fancy actually. It's a good idea, and all the shadows of the mountains, it's really rocks the T's boat, it does. So where the mountains are, it used to be the entrance to the pier. What's gone many moons ago, and got ruined by the mods jumping up and down of it. And there's a certain Mark what knows what was there at night when it all collapsed, well, it went a bit wrong, and then obviously they got it knocked down. So this was the entrance of it here. What if we had it today? It would be a grand attraction to Morecambe, wouldn't it? It would be an extra bonus. Well, obviously it's gone and we haven't got it now, but it would be a bonus if we still had it. But yeah, it's all got the different hills, and it's even got carp fowl on it, like the lower stuff down further, really low down, all the way up to really big stuff. And you can see a whole panorama view of all the mountains and fowls in the Lake District. It's a good idea, really. It's very clever. Oh, I didn't see it there. Oh, it's hard to foul. T used to live underneath that many moons ago. Oh, I didn't see it there. It's Coniston Man. I used to go to school underneath there. Oh, I didn't see it there. Oh, it's hard not to pass. Well, you know, I used to That used to be the gateway to civilization. I used to live in the bottom of that valley. Blackcombe. When I used to live on the west coast of Cumbria, Blackcombe, if it had snow on top of it, you knew in a few days that you'd have snow on the ground. And it used to be sort of our weather sort of fell, that did. If you looked up there and it was all black and black over Bill's mothers, you knew what was going to happen. You know, it's what happens on the west coast. You go back to your roots and the old ways rather than the new ways. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, it's carp. Oh, and Kent's Bank. It's down here. Oh, you will remember Kent's Bank from my other light show of South Lakeland the other day. Oh, Granger Sands. It's the TE Empire. Oh, didn't see that. It's Fairy Steps. Now, Fairy Steps is in Beetham, near Milthorpe. And the tale goes that Fairy Steps, if you can walk up it without touching the sides, you get your wish. And TE's actually done that, but it's actually a good video, that, for future. Get subscribed. Wharton Crag. Now, you know, Carnforth is on the Wharton Crag. And that's actually a very good Thomas Edward video of Carnforth Shed. If some of you know me already, I love a good steam shed. And that is a future video, Wharton Crag. There's also quite a few TE fans in Carnforth. Well, associated with Carnforth anyway. Yeah, so be future on that. Oh, brown coal. Wonder what goes on there. Right, we're going to walk down the prom to the lifeboat shop and the lifeboat station and see the end of the lights. But we have to be careful walking up prom. I think we're all right this time of night, but Tysonfury likes to come running down here, and he's a big lad. You've got to get out of his way when he comes. He comes running with his dad, does a bit of training, even with his brother. I think he's been training up his brother at the recent times. So we'll watch out, but I think it's all right this time. I think we'll be okay. So that's the old Pier bookshop. Nice guy. Well, he's got books in there he doesn't even know he's got. And you'll find T's mum in there, and you won't be able to find her for days. And then we'll walk down here. Actually, I did say I was going to walk along the prom, but you can't really see the lights, so we've come back up to the road and we're going to walk down here now and show you all the rest of the lights. Oh, I think the Rozzers are coming. Oh, he is as well. Oh dear. I used to go along here, I don't know where it is now. When T was a small boy, one of these shops along here had a cafe in it. And the T's mum and dad, we used to go in there when we used to have holidays in Morecambe. I used to come down from west coast of Cumbria. And now it's my favourite hotel's coming up. What isn't open anymore, unfortunately, is the Lubin. Now this is a place I've looked at for years and years and years, because it had chandeliers and groovy looking showbiz red wallpaper in it. And we're talking, it's for sale now. We were talking with a TE friend, Matt Waterman, not related to Pete Waterman, and he used to go in there for a bite to eat because it was good grub, and he was going to try and get an interview in there with the owner before they sold it, but I said we might run out of time, we might not get it done. But that is a favourite TE sort of landmark of Morecambe. Even though I've never been in it, I do like the look of it because it looks proper old school. Only one person on tonight. Oh no, two people. So here we walked along a bit from the Lubin, and we got the Best Western here. And now this hotel is it's all right, Best Western. The team likes a Best Western. They go all over the country. But this Best Western, it actually has a bit of showbiz happens in here. And the showbiz is the local MP, David Morris. He has his press conferences in there. And I say he's showbiz because I don't know if it's local knowledge or not. It probably is actually. He was he was the keyboard in a Rick Astley band, but that's his claim to fame, is, you know, being a Rick Astley band. PWL, Pete Waterman, you know. And I think it's just in that bit there next door, the aspect. That's in there. He's not my MP, so I can say that. My MP is Tim Farron, so he's my MP anyway, so I can't say to him, oh, there's more Rozzers without the blue lights. So we're getting to the end of the lights now. It goes down to the roundabout down here. So I just walked across the roads to look at the electric chargers we've got in Morecambe now. And every time I come past, day in and day out, slowly there's more cars charging up on it. So the modern world is slowly approaching Morecambe. There's a brand new Skoda there, and I think that's a Peugeot behind it. But one day, T will have his classic Rolls Royce on a Tesla motor charging up here. It'd be pretty cool. Well, that was Journey's End. Hold on, just checking again. Still got my mic on, it's very windy tonight. That's Journey's End to Thomas Edward Light Illumination and History Tour, well, slight history tour of Morecambe Promenade. And we finished at Buzz Bingo. Buzz Bingo used to be a famous nightclub, I think it was called Miami, and it had 3 bars in it, can you believe? That's a proper showbiz video on itself. There's lots of TE videos here, it's too many it counts. But yeah, that's Buzz Bingo, and this is the end of the lights on the roundabout. That's the last lamp post there with the lights on, the flickering away. And it's very windy again down here. We started off in the wind and finished in the wind. So today, I hope you've enjoyed Thomas Edward coming back to Morecambe to do his local town of excitement. I want to come back and do more. It's going to be a Lost Heysham Railway series coming this year. I was going to come this winter, but it just keeps getting pushed along a bit. But we'll get it done at some point, so stay tuned. And make sure you get this shared around to his friends and his family and everyone else. And make sure you give me a big fat like and a subscribe. You know, can't miss stuff around here. TE, you learn every day with TE, and a lot of Patreons and fellow fans always say that. It's a school day with TE. And they like the entertainment. You're learning with a laugh. So if you love all that, get subscribed. And my classic line, my classic catchphrase for the end of the videos is remember to click that big bell. Ding! And you didn't know what that meant. It means the notification bell, what will tell you when a new video comes along. So click that big bell. Ding!